Please stop bothering my kid.
I wasn't bothering him.
Just stop. What, you think that's funny?
I'm sorry. I have
Hello, good people. Welcome to Brad Psychiatry. My name is Brad. I'm a board-certified psychiatric nurse practitioner, and this is the first episode of a new series called Diagnosing. Today, I'll be looking at a character, Arthur Fleck, played by Joaquin Phoenix in the 2019 movie The Joker, and deciding if we have enough evidence to diagnose him with depression. The DSM-5 criteria for major depressive disorder requires that a person have 5 or more of these symptoms over a 2-week period. One of the symptoms must be one of these first 2 that I'm going to mention, and then a total of 5 are required, and then there's a couple of other criteria that we'll go to afterwards. We'll start with having a depressed mood most of the day. We go on to diminished interest or pleasure in activities that they used to enjoy. Next, there's a significant weight gain or loss. Now that's unintentional weight gain or loss. Slowing down of thought or reduction of movement. That can be noticeable by others. Next, we have fatigue or loss of energy nearly every day. Feelings of worthlessness or excessive or inappropriate guilt. Diminished ability to think or concentrate or indecisiveness. And then finally, there's the suicidal thoughts or a plan or intent or actually an attempt.
I haven't been happy 1 minute of my entire fucking life.
Now, that was admittedly a bit of a softball. Saying he's never been happy a minute of his life fits pretty nicely with depressed mood most of the day, nearly every day. Let's check that one off and look for some more.
Hey, what's your name? Arthur.
So in this scene, we're looking at the significant weight loss. Arthur looks pretty slim in this scene. I wouldn't necessarily tick it off without asking, have you lost some weight unintentionally? How much have you lost over what period of time? It's been reported that Joaquin Phoenix lost over 50 pounds specifically for the role, and it was intentional to make him look like he's lost this weight. So I'm going to go ahead and tick that one off as well, and we'll go ahead and keep looking for others. In this clip, we're talking about the slowing down of thought and movement, especially observable by others. Since we can't ask him about this symptom, we're going to go with the scenes that describe it most appropriately. The boy in the scene on the bus seems to notice that he's slower. Even after the boy makes a face, it takes Arthur a second to look at him and start to engage. The second scene is simply an observation of the way he walks up the stairs is slowed, and it's something that if you were interviewing a patient, you might ask them, have others noticed something like this, and they might say yes to that, or or they may not know that others see them that way. I'm going to go ahead and tick this off, slowing up movement, and move on.
Until a little while ago, it was like nobody ever saw me. Even I didn't know if I really existed.
Arthur, I have some bad news for you.
You don't listen, do you? I don't think you ever really hear me. You just ask the same questions every week. How's your job? Are you having any negative thoughts? All I have are negative thoughts. But you don't listen anyway. I said, for my whole life, I didn't know if I even really existed.
Here we see Arthur talking to his social worker / therapist. She also seems to be an intermediary between him and his psychiatry team. As at some point he asks her if she can ask them for increased medications. During the conversation, Arthur feels like she is ticking off boxes, but not necessarily caring about him, not necessarily listening to him. This goes hand in hand with his feelings of worthlessness, in that he feels like and states that he never felt like he ever even existed. I'm going to go ahead and tick off the worthlessness and move on to the next one.
Can I call someone? Is your mother home?
So clearly Arthur has had some thoughts of suicide. One of the questions we will often ask if someone is reporting thoughts of death or suicide is, do you have any kind of a plan or intent? In this case, would be worthwhile asking, do you have access to firearms? Have you ever acted out a scenario where you've pointed a gun at yourself? In this case, the one scene he's pointing his fingers, and then on the other scene he actually has the gun up to his chin. That's a clear indication that he is having thoughts of suicide. If I move this up, I'm going to go ahead and tick off that box for recurrent thoughts of death, suicidal ideation, etc. Once again, we have our list of criteria for major depressive disorder, and we seem to have ticked off 5 of the 8 boxes. You may recall that we needed to tick off one of the first 2, which we've done. We may have been able to tick off more were we given the opportunity to do a structured interview with Arthur. I think that would be very interesting, actually. However, we cannot do that, so we were able to tick off enough to give him a diagnosis of major depressive disorder. Some other criteria that are required are that these symptoms cause him significant impairment and that they're not caused by basically drugs or a medical condition. This is a slightly oversimplified version of diagnosing major depressive disorder, but given the fact that it's a hypothetical situation about a movie character, I thought it might be fun to do. Hey everybody, thanks for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed the video and maybe learned a little bit. If you want to see more videos on diagnosing movie characters, why not leave a comment down below on a movie character you'd like to see me diagnose next. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you all next time on Diagnosing Movie Characters.